Yo, what's going on, everybody? I'm back with another video. It's your boy Luke Vaughn. Thank you so much for watching me. This is my channel, this is my YouTube. If you end up liking this video, give this video a thumbs up. If you like me, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos. I really appreciate it. I'm just getting started with this whole video making stuff. So today in this video, I'm going to be discussing the Yoel Romero versus Israel Adesanya middleweight champion of the world UFC fight. All right, man. So tomorrow night, they are fighting at 185. I think they're fighting in Vegas, so that is awesome. I can't wait for this fight. It's gonna be a showdown. Like, I can't wait for this. There are two beasts going at it, fighting at a pretty good weight class for enough power, enough skill, and enough speed. The athletes that fight at 185 are just phenomenal. They're just world-class fighters. They're world-class mixed martial artists. So it's really awesome seeing someone like Israel Adesanya, who's just a world-class striker, against Yoel Romero, just a vet in the game who's been around for so long, who has so many different skills, who can really use his wrestling and open that fight up tomorrow night. So we're going to be discussing all that stuff in this video. Like I said, if you end up liking this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It really helps me get this video out to more people. So for that, I say thank you. So they both made weight. They both hit the weight mark. The title fight is on. They both are able to win the title tomorrow night no matter what happens. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know what's gonna happen. There's so many things. Like, you can honestly guess anything that's gonna happen. It's a fight. So someone might get knocked out in the first 10 seconds. They might go a full 5 rounds. So who really knows? I don't know. But the least I can do is give my prediction. The first thing I want to talk about is how good of a striker Israel Adesanya is. Adesanya is probably the best striker in the UFC right now. I would say him and Valentina Shevchenko are probably the two best strikers, pound for pound, any weight class, men, women, female, male, whatever division it is. Those are probably the two best strikers. If I'm forgetting somebody, leave it in the comments. Who do you think the best striker in the UFC is? I'm really curious about that. Yeah, I would say Adesanya is definitely the best male striker in the UFC. So him going against someone that's a little bit smaller, but has a lot more power than probably anybody else that he has fought, coming from Yoel Romero, is really interesting as a UFC fan, as a Israel Adesanya fan, as a Yoel Romero fan. It's really fun seeing these guys going at it, getting in the octagon and going at it for 25 minutes. Another main topic I want to talk about is that they both made weight. Yoel Romero is kind of known, I don't want to say known, but was definitely questioned coming into this fight if he was going to even make weight, because he's missed weight for championship fights before, which is really disappointing and really just an asterisk in his career and an asterisk on his resume. That being said, Yoel Romero made weight. He hit 185 this morning, as well as Israel Adesanya. So the title fight is on. They both can go home with the title. That's really interesting. That's really cool going into this. I think Yoel Romero knows that this is probably his last chance of ever winning the UFC championship. He's 42 years old. He's lucky to be that healthy and that good of a fighter at the age that he is. This is probably his last run. So he knows this going into his game plan. So he's probably practicing in his training camp harder than he's ever gone. His diet has probably been stricter than he's ever been. He was probably extremely focused on making weight. Thankfully, he made weight. Finally, Yoel Romero knows what's at stake, because going into a fight and knowing, even if I win, I'm not going to get the title, I'm not going to basically beat the champion because he missed weight for, maybe negatively affected his performance when he fought Robert Whittaker. And that's another topic I want to get into, what they both did against Robert Whittaker. Yoel Romero had 2 chances to beat Robert Whittaker and he couldn't get it done. Personally, I think the second fight, he probably beat Robert Whittaker. He probably should have got that decision and he probably should have been the middleweight champion. But that's a different conversation for another day. The first fight was definitely questionable. The second fight could have went both ways. I wouldn't call it a robbery. I would say it's not easy to call Yoel Romero a loser after both of those fights. So going into this fight, Israel Adesanya, though, knocked out Yoel Romero in 2 rounds, basically in 1 round. That last 5-second knockdown in the first round was literally the fight. I was like, oh my god, the fight's over right after that. He's gonna come back out and get starched, which he ended up he came back out and started throwing some punches, Robert Whittaker, but he ended up getting starched, and poor Robert Whittaker. Little moment of silence for my boy Rob. Alright. Thank you so much for it. My boy Bobby Knuckles is coming back. He's still young. I didn't even know, like, if you look at them, Israel Adesanya looks so much older than Robert Whittaker, but in all reality, Robert Whittaker is younger than Adesanya, and Adesanya's got a little bit more experience. He's been in the ring, kickboxing, and now in the octagon a little bit longer than actually Robert Whittaker has, if you really look at it. This is Yoel Romero's last chance to actually win a title, to actually obtain the UFC championship belt, and he knows this. He's probably never going to be able to fight the champion of that weight class ever again. He knows that his fame and his health is coming to an end. He's 42 years old. His weight cut, he looked good getting on the scale, but his interview yesterday and this morning looked a little iffy. He looked a little zombie-like, but I'm really interested to see what Yoel Romero is going to do going into this fight. We know Israel Adesanya's game plan for the most part. I don't want to just jump to conclusions, but for the most part, Israel Adesanya is going to want to stand on his feet and just fight. He's going to want to keep the distance. He's going to want to precisely throw his punches, get his combinations, get in, get out, throw kicks, dodge, move, maybe get it clinch work a little bit. I don't know what his exact game plan is, but we know he wants to stay on the feet. But at the same time, he's fighting Yoel Romero, who's somebody who's willing to stay on the feet and willing to bang because he trusts his power in his hands. He trusts his knockout power. He trusts his chin. With all that trust in himself, he should trust his wrestling because he's a better wrestler than Israel Adesanya. And Yoel Romero is kind of known for never really applying that wrestling and actually wrestling people down and winning fights and ground and pounding them the way we see kind of Khabib or George St. Pierre used to do. And Yoel Romero has that ability. He has those skills to be able to take down and manipulate fighters and dictate where the fight's going to be. And that's really important going into an MMA fight. Going into a cage where there's walls, where you can apply pressure against someone against the cage and then take him down. So I don't know if he's going to try to get cage work in. I think it would be stupid. And I think Yoel Romero even understands this, that it would be so stupid for him to waste this opportunity to go in there and try to bang with probably the best striker in the whole entire sport. Don't strike with him. Get in there a little bit, throw a couple power punches, test his chin if that's what you want to do. Maybe get clinch work in, throw elbows, maybe throw some spin and stuff, but I would say work the wrestling. Kelvin Gastelum had a little bit of progress, a little bit of success when he wrestled Adesanya, so he could use that and apply that to his game plan. I don't know what he really plans on doing. I think we should all understand that this is Yoel Romero's last opportunity to ever win the UFC championship belt, and I think he really understands that. I think he fully accepts that. I don't think we've ever seen a full potential, full expressed Yoel Romero. It's hard to even say if Yoel Romero has ever lost in the octagon. I think Tim Kennedy was probably his biggest loss. And he didn't even lose that fight. He ended up winning that fight, right? But I think he should have lost that fight. I think it should have been stopped. I think he cheated, honestly. Besides that, he didn't really lose against Paulo Costa. That's a mixed fight. Comment who you thought. Did Yoel Romero beat Paulo Costa, or did Paulo Costa beat Yoel Romero? Because that's an iffy conversation too. I don't know who won. I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow night. It's gonna be so interesting. Stay tuned for a post-fight vlog podcast. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'm gonna go live when that fight's happening. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm really excited. Two beasts, two animals going at it. Two world-class martial artists that are just world-class athletes, and they're going at it, and they're gonna be locked in the octagon for 25 minutes, five-minute rounds, and I'm so excited. I'm so hyped. Oh my gosh. Guys, let me know your prediction. Please, in the comments, let me know. Do you think Adesanya is gonna knock him out? Maybe in a round, maybe 2 rounds? Is it gonna take 3, 4, 5 rounds? Is Yoel Romero maybe gonna knock him out, starch him, maybe gonna test his chin in the later rounds? Is Yoel Romero gonna gas out maybe in the 4th, 5th round? Is it gonna be an all-out war for 4 or 5 rounds? What do you guys think is going to happen? Maybe a little Kobe Covington, Kamaru Usman kind of fight? I would be hyped to see that. That'd be worth the money. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think is gonna happen. I'm excited. I know you're excited. If you're watching this right now, thank you so much for making it this far in this video. I really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up if you like this video. If not, don't give it a thumbs down. But please subscribe to my channel, and take it easy, guys. Have a good one.